Hey, Phil Tomato here, back again on another video to talk to you about something that a lot of artists seem to struggle with. For those of you who are lucky enough to find it, congratulations. To those who are still looking for it, well, I believe this video is for you. When I started off as an artist, I didn't even think about art style. All I wanted to do was just draw, but as I became much more serious with art, just like you, I started looking for my own voice, my own art style. As artists, we have this pressure to be unique amongst a sea of other artists. We wade through an ocean of talent and it can oftentimes feel overwhelming. But don't worry, this is just a price you pay for greatness. As the saying goes, nothing good ever came easy. Every artist we look up to has their own signature art style that they found along the way. But that begs the question, were they looking for it in the first place? So, how do you look for it? How do you study to get that art style? Are there tutorials out there that might help you get that unique flavor to your art piece? Well, it's about figuring out what works. You gotta keep creating to iron out the kinks. You won't be able to if you stop. The stairway to mastery is paved with 1,000 drawings, each step a paper cut. Will you step down and stay where you are? Or keep climbing and find out how high the stairs actually go? It's going to hurt along the way, sure. That's why they call it passion. See, the reason why art hurts so much is because you've been climbing those stairs for a while. I know you're hurting right now. I'm climbing those stairs with you. But believe me when I say, you'll get used to it. You're gonna develop calluses on your feet and you won't even notice those paper cuts anymore. So, keep moving and keep walking. In your art journey, you're going to come across amazing things. You'll meet other adventurers just like you who can guide and help you along the way. You'll even come across signs that will take you to places that you wouldn't normally stumble across. Speaking of stumbling, that'll happen to you quite a lot. The road you're on isn't paved very well, so you're gonna have to finesse it. Sometimes you're gonna want to stop because it can get overwhelming. I have seen so many artists quit because the road was very unforgiving. Artists all agree on one thing. Art is frustrating and makes us miserable. But why do it if it hurts? Well, because it feels like the right thing to do. Like moths to a flame, it's our instinct. Fear of failure is a strong monster. The realization that you're not good enough and will never be good enough can stop you on your tracks and will beat you down if you let it. That monster is always behind you, waiting on you to let your guard down, to lose faith in yourself. That's why we gotta make you stronger. We gotta keep moving. Don't let the fear of failure stop you from finding your voice. When we put our work out there, when we go and look for our art style, you're going to meet a lot of criticisms. It's gonna suck. When I started looking for my voice and saw that people didn't really like what I put out there, it kinda hurts. Makes you feel worthless, you know? It felt like I kept casting my net and never caught fish. Day in and day out, underneath the hot sun and coming home with an empty net, it takes a toll in your heart, and it anchors you down. Doubt is an all-consuming fog that can swallow you if you let it. But you gotta keep that flame going. You gotta keep igniting that fire to push back that fog. Looking for an art style is like going on a quest to find the Holy Grail. There's going to be trials along the way. Just like the knights in Camelot, you gotta have faith and follow your heart. Searching for an art style is kind of like brewing a potion. You gotta find ingredients. Not just any ingredients. It's going to be the right one. It's going to need to be the right one. So, what are those ingredients? First, you need to focus on what you love. This one is very important. When you're too focused on social media and what you think people might want to see from you, you're going to lose track of who you really are. You might start creating something you don't like just to please people, focusing too much on likes, comments, and shares that you forget to take into account your heart, mind, and soul. Create what your heart tells you to create. Don't worry about what people might think. This is your art, and should be a representation of you and your soul. Can't spell heart without art, am I right? So this is one of the ingredients. Focus on love. Next is draw to find flaws. This is how you figure stuff out. The more you create art, the more you understand your shortcomings, what works and what doesn't. Put your work out there and learn how to take criticisms while at the same time keeping to heart what people like about your art. Use the people as a dowsing rod to guide you where you need to be. You do this enough times and you'll start to peel the layers to reveal the art style within. It's going to take a lot of peeling, but eventually you will get there. So draw to find your flaws. That's ingredient number 2. And third, you're going to need to borrow some ingredients. When you're starting off as an artist, you only have a few to choose from. So, in order to create something amazing, you need to ready your ingredients. Just like how people like chocolate, while some prefer vanilla, you need to start using ingredients that you like eating. What I'm trying to say is, if you like how the artist uses colors, copy that. If you come across an artist that does gestures really well, emulate that. You learn from them, and over time, you make it your own. When I was searching for my art style, I borrowed ingredients from artists that I admired. There was Fred Moore, an artist over at Disney. He was known for creating the centaurs from the movie Fantasia. I just really loved how graceful his art looked, and I tried my best to really get that ingredient. There's also Jamie Hewlett. He's well known for creating and designing the characters from the band Gorillaz. I don't know if you've heard of him. He also made Tank Girl. I just love his design so much that I probably stole a lot of ingredients from Jamie and made it my own. And the last ingredient, and probably the lamest but most important one, is be patient. Wisdom and experience takes time to develop. Being persistent is key, folks. As you place all the ingredients in the pot, you gotta keep stirring it. It takes time, so let it cook. This potion you're making, this isn't for anyone else. This is for you, so there's no rushing it. If you rush it, it's going to feel forced and, or worse, it'll prevent you from improving and reinventing the wheel. I've seen a lot of artists whose art remains stagnant because they're stuck on a particular look. Because I guess they think that their fans like it? Try not to fall into this trap. Remember the 4 ingredients? Well, pleasing people ain't one of them. One thing I love about looking at someone's art style is you kind of get an idea of who the artist is, what they're interested in, and what they're obsessed over. It's like peering into their soul, you know? That's what makes an art style an awesome thing. You don't see that in AI. There's just nothing there. To the untrained eye, the AI art might look great on the surface, but if you look closely, it's devoid of anything substantial. That's what makes an art special, in my own opinion. A piece of someone's identity. Someone's soul is in every media you consume. All those beautiful paintings, music, and movies that you partake in, it is someone's soul talking, and that is what makes it beautiful. I am scared when the day comes that every media that we partake in is all AI. Everything will be recycled and everything will look and feel the same. Whenever I look at a piece of AI-generated art, it almost always looks the same to me. There's just something about it. Maybe it's the way lighting is rendered. Maybe it's the extra fingers? In my own opinion, I'd rather see someone's artwork, flaws and all. Art style is a special thing. It shows you an artist's idea of what beauty is in their eyes. And that is something very important to take into account. As the saying goes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and artists can visualize their idea of it. When you develop an art style, when you reach a skill level that's very high, after you've paid your dues and climbed those stairs, you'll be able to create something that people didn't even realize they needed. Maybe your own interpretation of beauty is just what this world needs right now. It's going to take some time to find your art style. Or rather, it'll take some time for art style to come and find you. Just keep drawing. Peel those layers. Climb those stairs. Endure those paper cuts. It's all going to be worth it in the end. The world needs to see what beauty is through your eyes. We need artists like you more than ever. Figuring out an art style is akin to figuring out who you are as an artist. An art style is a combination of things that you like. It's a very personal thing and it evolves with you. It retains the essence of what you think is beautiful and improves on it as you develop as an artist. It's that single-minded obsession that we all have as artists that allows us to create something truly inspiring. I'd like to imagine a world where there are millions of Da Vinci's, Vermeers, and Kim Jong-gis, all there, inspiring each and everyone, creating beautiful things that move people, maybe the world itself. I feel like the world would be a better place if there are more of you guys. Maybe this is just a foolish artist's dream, but I want nothing more. I hope that becomes a reality someday. I'm looking forward to it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I truly appreciate it. And if you like what I do, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. It truly helps out quite a lot. Also, a huge thank you to my wonderful patrons over at Patreon who keep the light on every month. If you want to support me, please consider being one of my patrons. I would really much appreciate it. Till next time.